Walmart skateboards have been present in the skate world for a long time. They're pretty much universally hated and ridiculed. But if that's the case, why do they actually exist? Are they just a scam? What is the deal? Let's investigate. People's path to becoming a skateboarder tends to go like this. In some way, they see how cool skateboarding is. They want to buy a skateboard, and then they try to remember where they have seen a skateboard before. Aha! Walmart. This was also my path into skateboarding, and I actually had a few different Walmart boards before getting my first real skateboard. You might be thinking, real skateboard, is that Chima Ferguson guy? No, I mean a professional level skateboard. Pretty much all skateboards can be broken down into these three categories. Professional grade. Every time you see a professional or talented skateboarder, they are using one of these types of boards. They are considered the highest quality, and they are made by the big core skateboarding brands. Skaters will buy each piece individually and replace them as they skate them and the parts wear out over time. This is what every single serious skater rides without any exception and is the most expensive. Buying these skateboards will cost you around $150 to $200. The next level is what we call a beginner complete. This is close to a professional grade skateboard, but it cuts a few corners with generic products to get the cost down. These are always purchased as a complete skateboard with all the parts assembled and are about half the price at $80 to $100. They aren't necessarily bad boards and are perfect for beginners to learn how to skate and do a bunch of tricks, but no serious skater would ever consider using these boards. Next up are Walmart boards. These don't explicitly have to be from Walmart, they can pretty much be from any big box store. For me in Australia, we actually call them Kmart boards, but for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna call them all Walmart boards. Typically, these are terrible, low quality skateboards that pretty much look like a skateboard, but barely function. The price range is around $15 to $50, and the main customer for these boards are people that don't really understand skateboarding yet. No one that buys a Walmart board is really satisfied. They usually get better at skating and end up buying a professional grade skateboard or give up on skating because the Walmart board created such a negative skating experience. So if these Walmart boards are so bad, why do they exist? Are they a scam? Well, no, not really. They are here to serve a purpose, an important purpose. No matter what, there'll always be people buying Walmart boards as their first board, from the grandma that doesn't know any better to the kid that is just learning about skating. There will forever be an entry point into skateboarding, and to be able to buy a skateboard for $15 to $30 rather than $80 to $100 or $150 to $200 is pretty cool. Maybe they just want to try it out and see if skateboarding's for them before committing to such a big investment. But the problem is, they suck. They suck really bad. Skateboarding legend Chet Thomas, the founder of Darkstar Skateboards, was the first person to kind of explore this cheap price point skateboard space from inside the skate industry. And these are his thoughts on the topic.
My mom didn't know that there is a quote unquote skateboard industry. Right. Took me to Big Five. I got a piece of shit board. I could choose to make something for that market that works and rolls, and kids could actually ride and get stoked on skateboarding, and then find a Thrasher mag, and then find their local skate shop and continue to skate. And just make the best product that you can in that price category for those parents that don't know that there's skate shops. Right. And at the end of the day, the more skateboarders there are, the better it is for skateboarding. You could say, oh, you're selling out, cheap ass Walmart shit. Well, you know about skateboarding. If you know about skateboarding, you know you're not going to buy a board at Walmart. Of
course, he was met with huge backlash, and the skate community really did not appreciate this at all. I feel like they kind of missed the bigger picture 100%. Element Skateboards founder Johnny Schilleriff did this with the company he founded, Hot Supply. I think he was expecting a new skate boom to form out of the Olympics, and he did try to capitalize it by getting his boards into Target. I skated these boards, and honestly they were a little bit higher for the Walmart price point, and I did find that they were still pretty bad. I don't really have anything that good to say about it, to be honest, other than it's cool that he tried to sort of do this. Braille Skateboarding also tried to do this, and they couldn't really make it work. They had a board in Walmart for $50, which was pretty good quality, but the logistics with working with Walmart ended up putting the board on sale for really cheap, which was a great bargain for consumers. but they ended up taking a huge L on the deal and then it didn't continue. Now just recently, Greg Lutzka has also entered the chat with his new line of his Walmart skateboard. It's kind of funny because in any other industry, getting your products into Walmart is like this huge celebrated victory, but in skateboarding, it's literally like one of the worst things that could ever happen to your company. There's an interesting story of the famous basketball player Shaquille O'Neal, who decided to stop making his expensive signature shoes with Reebok and decided to make cheap, affordable Walmart shoes for all his younger fans that want to get into basketball. And you can hear him explain this heartwarming story for himself here.
While leaving the arena after a game, a lady approached Shaq complaining about the price of his current Reebok model shoes.
And I'm leaving the arena one day and this lady she's ripping me a new eye. You motherfuckers, charging these babies all this money for the shoes. So I had like a $2,000 in my pocket. I was like, ma'am, I don't make the prices. Here you go. And she smacked the money in my hand. Why don't you motherfuckers make a shoe that's affordable? And I thought about it. And I was like, you know what? She's right.
That day, Shaq cut ties with Reebok and started his brand. He went to his favorite store, Walmart, and they made a deal to make his shoes as affordable as possible. The price ranged from as low as $12 to around $30. Since then, they've sold over 400 million pairs. Instead of trying to create the most hype shoe to compete with Jordan, he did the opposite.
I think in general, skateboarders are becoming a little bit more accepting and a little bit more open-minded of these new things. The Lutzka board does seem to be kind of decent quality for what it is. And as much as I love Tony Hawk, his Walmart boards are absolute garbage. I've skated almost every single type of Walmart board through my time at Braille Skateboarding, so I do feel like I am pretty qualified to review this Walmart skateboard space. One thing that I take a little bit of issue with is when these companies try to have the same graphics on their privately made professional quality skateboard as the cheap Walmart skateboards. Greg Lutzka and Hard Supply were doing this for a little bit, but Darkstar explicitly said that they would not ever do this. I feel like it could be a little bit misleading to the consumers with kind of limited knowledge to think that like if they went to Target and bought this board, that it is actually the board that people are competing in the Olympics with. I feel like skaters are pretty quick to judge in general, and they do kind of refuse to accept that there is this place in the market for a low-level board for someone that's just kind of dabbling with skateboarding. I think you do need to kind of accept that this space has to exist, and then we can kind of think about the logistics of who is a better company owner. Would we really rather just a random Chinese toy company to be making these terrible, terrible, unskatable boards? Or would we rather have people like Greg Lutzka, legendary, lifelong, amazing skateboarders, dipping in the space trying to actually create a better environment for kids? I personally think that it's cool to see them trying to do it. Maybe they're not perfect at it yet, but maybe it can get better over time. Are Walmart boards a scam? No. Am I going to go and buy a Walmart board? Hell no. But are they a necessary part of skateboarding? Yes. This was a fun video to make, and I think it's an interesting topic to explore. Let me know what you think about Walmart boards, and let me know in the comments if a Walmart board was your first ever board. That is it. I like skate.
Should you buy a skateboard from Walmart? The answer is always no.